Hey, what is up guys? It's me, Anthony, donning my Jurassic Park shirt to tell you guys that I'm going to be ranking all 6 of the Jurassic Park movies. Now, I always got confused if we call these the Jurassic Park movies or do we just call it the Jurassic franchise, because you know, the Jurassic Park movies, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then there's Jurassic World 1, 2, 3. So do you call it Jurassic Park series or do you call it your Jurassic series? But I'm here to rank all 6 of the Jurassic Park films, and I gotta say this because for some reason people acting weird, but this is my list, this is my ranking, this isn't the correct ranking, this isn't the wrong ranking. But as always, if you have your own ranking, or if you are really mad that I ranked something that you liked on the bottom, let me know in the comments down below, because it helps the channel immensely. So let's start things off with number 6, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, Jurassic World as a whole, which we will get to as we talk about these movies in this video, I'm not a fan. As Dr. Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic World Dominion, Jurassic World, not a fan. But I feel like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the worst out of all these films because they introduced a character that is a clone. And why? Why did they introduce this character? And to me, this is where the franchise just couldn't recover. We'll talk about Jurassic World Dominion in a little bit. A movie that I enjoyed for the most part, but it is hampered by this clone storyline. And especially this film, because this is where the clone is introduced. But the main problem that I have with this film isn't the clone girl, you know, isn't this girl who is unfortunately, you know, trying to look and figure out where she is in this world and everything. No, that's not the problem. The problem that I have with this film is we're not even on the island anymore. I know it's called Jurassic World. I know they were leading up to this, you know, dinosaurs coming onto the mainland. But at least in Jurassic Park Lost World, when they did the dinosaurs on the mainland, you know, that was an event. That was a big spectacle. This time, they bring the dinosaurs to the mainland. They literally destroy the island that they're on. And then they bring them to the mainland. And then they're in this mansion where people are just auctioning off these dinosaurs. And it just doesn't have any, like, stakes, any, like, you know, like ramifications or any suspense, because in reality, these people could, if they really wanted to, Owen and Claire and everybody else who's trying to save these dinosaurs could really, you know, say, you know what, I'm just going to go call the government. You know, I'm just going to leave this mansion, just going to go call the government and then see if they can help us out. But, you know, of course, they didn't do that. They wanted to save the dinosaurs by themselves because movie. But I will say that the saving grace for this film for me is the dinosaurs, and in particular the new baddie dinosaur that we got, the Indoraptor, one of the, if not the scariest dinosaur in this entire franchise. I thought the Indominus Rex was scary. The Indoraptor has it topped by a mile. I mean, I guess because it is a mixture of like a whole bunch of different dinosaurs plus the Indominus Rex to create this super crazy creepy 1,000 nails and teeth monster, and they do a really good job utilizing that scariness and amplifying that scariness with this monster. Now, I know this movie sucks, but I do recommend that you guys get the Blu-ray or 4K disc of this version just for this behind the scenes and special scenes, because they really go in depth of how they created the Indoraptor, and they show you like the prosthetics and all that stuff, and I thought that was really cool. It just gave me a little bit more appreciation of the dinosaur itself and how terrifying, particularly that scene where the little clone girl is in the bed and then the Indoraptor's claws going over it. That was a really brilliant scene. I really liked that. But the rest of the film, no bueno. Number 5, Jurassic World. Now, I don't hate this film. I think it's okay. I think it's decent. And while I'm talking about the, you know, how I feel about it, and if, you know, I usually don't give scores and stuff, but if you do want to see scores, go check out my Letterboxd, and I do give like star ratings on all the movies that I watch. So if you want to know like a more solid like where he's at with these kind of films, go check out Letterboxd. But back to my thoughts of Jurassic World. I don't hate this movie. I think it's okay, it's decent. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this film, like the story wise. The characters are my biggest issue in this film, because Claire and Owen and the rest of the cast are decent enough characters. You know, they're good templates of characters, you know, traditional, you know, generic characters. But the problem I have with them is we don't get any character development at all. And that's throughout the entire series. I feel like for a movie like this, where you're dealing with characters that don't really talk, you know, speak English, and the dinosaurs, those are like the main focus, or you know, the side focus right there for the dinosaurs. I mean, it's called Jurassic World, but you gotta have the human characters to sell the movie for you. And when you have characters that are really bland and we don't really know anything about them to invest into them, or to like really care at all, it just makes it really hard to, you know, get invested in this film. For me, it just makes it really hard to really invest any further emotion or care for these characters or this franchise going forward. But I will say, if we didn't have the Jurassic World movie and, you know, all the sequels following it, we wouldn't have Camp Cretaceous, because Camp Cretaceous is amazing, and they better do a Camp Cretaceous movie because we need it. But just like the last film, Fallen Kingdom, this film's biggest highlight and biggest saving grace is the big bad dinosaur, the Indominus Rex. This thing is crazy. You know, when I thought of like the whole genetic, you know, mutation splicing of dinosaurs that they were going to be doing in this movie, when they first announced it, I was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh no, we're going to have like some skunk T-Rexes. That's the first thing that went into my mind. But instead, we got this cuttlefish mixed with raptor and T-Rex and other random things, Indominus Rex, and it's scary. Not as scary as the Indoraptor, but this thing is still scary. I mean, it does a good job of putting itself in the pantheon of top tier dinosaur Jurassic World, Jurassic Park dynasty, I guess. Number 4, Jurassic World Dominion. So you already know, I mean, as I just told you right now, but this is the best Jurassic World in the entire franchise, and for me at least, because of just nostalgia. They played on the nostalgia. I can't really, you know, just fault them for it. You know, they just had to throw something at the wall because they screwed themselves with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with that clone bullshit. But this movie carries on that problem with the clone stuff, because it just doesn't make any sense. And they don't really try to make it sense in this film as well. I guess maybe they do try, but it doesn't really execute very well. It just hampers down the story in this film, or what little story that we have in this film, because they're so busy trying to figure out how this clone girl fits into the whole grand scheme of things, and their explanation is kind of hilarious, I guess I would say. I guess if I was going to determine if I had to recommend this movie, like, should you watch this? Do you need to watch this if you're a Jurassic Park fan? Yes and no. Yes, because if you are a fan of the Jurassic Park film, you want to see the OGs that are in this film, and that is well worth admission alone, for me at least. The dinosaurs are cool in here, the new dinosaurs. We'll talk about some scenes in there that I really like, but I say no as well, because this whole clone thing, I keep on repeating myself, it's just not worth your time. But if you checked out my video of Jurassic World, where I talked about the things that are really good about it and some things that are not so good about it, I did talk about, like, it's just the OGs. You know, you get to see the OGs back again. We get some new characters, and DeWanda Wise, she's amazing in here. It's a shame that she's in this film, but she is great. The dinosaurs that we get in here, we get a lot of dinosaur scenes, dinosaur action sequences. Some are random, but that's okay, because if you came to see dinosaurs, then you're gonna get some dinosaurs. But yeah, this movie is the most okay Jurassic World movie out of all of them. And yeah, you know, check it out if you want to see some dinosaurs, do some dinosaur stuff. Number 3, Lost World Jurassic Park. Now, in the beginning of making this whole ranking video, I for sure was thinking that Jurassic World or Lost World Jurassic Park was going to be at the bottom, because I remember hating this movie, and the main reason why was because it was so freaking long. This movie's like the longest out of all of the films, I think, and I was just like, why? Especially the third act, where a lot of people say that's their favorite. I just think the movie, it just drags on. You know, at the end, you get to one point in the movie, you're like, okay, this is the end of the film, and then it just keeps on going for another hour. And over the time, but after rewatching it after a couple of years, I realized it's all right. It's okay. It's not my favorite, obviously, with its position on this list, but I enjoyed it. I would rather watch this a million times than the Jurassic World mess. Ian Malcolm is the lead in here, and he's just off to, he's like Ian Malcolm at his like prime, I guess you would say. His daughter's in here too, which they need to explain this. You know, if anything, if we're gonna get another Jurassic World, I just need it to be Ian Malcolm and his daughter, and them just explaining, you know, how this is working. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I just want to know more. Also, shout out to the gymnastics scene. That was funny. It was random, funny. Number 2, Jurassic Park 3. I know this is probably going to be the pick or the ranking or the number that is going to kill me. I'm gonna cause the most revolt out of all you fans because I put Jurassic Park 3 as number 2 in this ranking. But I can't help it. I love this movie a lot. I mean, it has my 2 favorite things. It has dinosaurs and Alan Grant. So you put them together, then it's going to be good. But I guess this is going to be me making the case for Jurassic Park 3. Because for me, I'm not that hard of a person to please, you know? Okay, I like Suicide Squad. Yes, I mean, not the Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad. I like that movie. So I don't have that high of standards for movies. I'm just here to escape. I'm here to see some, you know, stuff flying across the screen. And for me, Jurassic Park 3 is the perfect storm. You have Dr. Alan Grant, who is like, I'm never going to this island ever again. I want nothing to do with, you know, John Hammond and his stuff. And he gets coaxed into going to this island and rescuing this boy, Eric, who is a badass in his own right. I mean, how did he get that T-Rex pee? We still don't know. But other than the Kirbys, which I know a lot of people criticize why they don't like this film, is because the Kirbys are so annoying. They are annoying, but there's a lot of action-packed scenes in here. The Spinosaurus Rex is hilarious. He's like a comic relief villain. Who would have thought that they could pull it off? There's also a really scary scene in this film with the pterodactyls in the bird cage. Really well done. I love that scene as well. There's just a lot of good things in here, and it's short and concise, not like Lost World Jurassic Park where it's just too long. This one's just right. I know a lot of people give it some you know, criticisms of like just the speed that the third act goes into. It's like one thing happens to another and then the movie's over. I don't mind it because, like I said, you know, I have a short attention span, maybe, I guess, but I just wanted, you know, short and sweet action thing, you know, and we got it with dinosaurs and Alan Grant. What's not to love? And number 1, I think you guessed this one, Jurassic Park. The one that started them all. The one that cannot be replicated, duplicated, done ever again is the Jurassic Park movie. What has been said about this movie that hasn't been said before? You know, the iconic cast, the lovable cast. You get enthralled with these characters, even side characters like Ned, him, you know, you're kind of like, oh, I kind of like this guy a little bit, even though he's an asshole. You know, Samuel Jackson's character, who is not really, we don't know anything about him, but you kind of like, oh, I like him, he's kind of cool, he has a presence about him. Every character in here, even to like the side characters, the guy that flew the freaking helicopter, you're like, that guy looks cool, he has a cool mustache. Everything to me is just like a perfect storm with this film. You know, you have that iconic scene where the T-Rex first breaks out of the cage, and it's just still iconic to this day. I saw it on the big screen recently where when I went to go see Jurassic World Dominion. It was like a double feature kind of thing, and even though, you know, some of the CGI doesn't really hold up that well, just that scene in general really sticks and really holds up to this day because they use animatronics, and it's just kind of like timeless to me, in my opinion, and it still gives me goosebumps seeing that T-Rex, you know, crash down into the car with those poor little kids. But there's one gripe that I have with the movie. You know, one serious gripe that I have with this film, and it's that tree scene with Tim and Alan Grant. You know, when he goes up there to get Tim out of the tree with the car and everything, the car's crashing down. I never really understood why they didn't just go to the back of the tree. You know, just go to the back of the tree, the thing would have just fell and you would have been fine. It just annoyed me. It's a good action scene, but just annoying. But guys, let me know what you think of this list in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And you know, don't get too mad that Jurassic Park 3 is my number 2 favorite Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Jurassic franchise movie of all time. Don't get that mad. But if you are going to get mad, again, comment in the comments down below because it helps the channel. But guys, don't forget to check out my Twitter so you can stay up to date with my channel. And remember, guys, keep watching movies.